I can tell you. I mean, I'm a fan beyond words of who Rajan is. I can tell you that I wish in my life I have a chance to work with him. Obviously, not till the time he's part of a Western American company. That I can tell. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I remember coming in this room in 2008, the time when I was known more as a 197 guy. And the big question I had on the table was, and the discussion was India's entrepreneur ecosystem. I'm sure India's entrepreneur ecosystem has gone through like the road traffic jams on Outer Ring Road. For example, like the first one at Nehru Place was, we don't have angel investors. So and Thai was doing and Mumbai Angels were doing and all sorts of things. Then we got angel investors. We don't have Series A investors. Then people like Ram Shriram and all Ashish and all those people came in this country. Then Series A investments happened. Then we don't have large check riders in this country. Then probably Lee Fixel, the tiger, came and then said, here is my pound of flesh, or here is your pound of flesh, and he gave it to the people. And slowly, sequentially, this is the day when we've reached here, like Rajan told you. It is easier to raise $1 billion in India than in US, China, Japan, anywhere in the world, because you are an Indian and you're doing it in India. I can tell you that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the immense pride we should be proud of. I was with Masa 2 days back having a review of our Japan business, because Masa is a check writer for not just India business, but for Japan business also. And in the middle of conversations, I just figured out that we needed marketing money. Obviously, you were launching a product in the country. $100 million just slipped in. I mean, that is the kind of, just because Indians are running that company. I mean, I can tell you that. That is how it happens. The beauty of this country is that the time for our country has come now. This time that we were waiting for consumers, like hundreds of million consumers in the country. We were waiting for ecosystem where there were technology people, product writers, or coders, or the engineers, or the product market fit. Everything has been sorted. I want to tell you guys, I travel US, I travel China, I come to India, and I travel Japan, and there is no better country in the world to be starting a startup but India, because US is an old dudes party, and you can see the people who come from US right now. US will be the Europe of past when Industrial Revolution happened, because they were there and they were the owner of the names and the money. So in a macro, what is happening is, what Europe became, US will become. What US became, China will become. What today you see and talk about China as a bright economy of the world, 100% that is this country. No better country in the world for next 10 years than this country, because what we created as a country, ladies and gentlemen, remember $2.5 trillion got created in 70 years of this country's birth. In 7 years, $2.5 trillion is going to get added more. Just imagine what is the opportunity we're sitting here with. That is this country, $2.5 trillion waiting to be part of one of you, some of you, all of us, every one of us, wishfully each one of us, wishfully a lot more than just in this room, because this is a city of PMs, particle matters and PM. But this journey is not so straightforward. It's fun from outside in, and it's grueling from inside out. In 2008, when I had come on the stage, I asked a question in the audience. I said, let me tell you all, the charity begins at home, the commitment begins in yourself, and I want to ask each of you, if you have your daughter, son, who's coming out of engineering college, how many of you would you want that person works in Infosys, Oracle, Microsoft, versus a company called 197 Communication in Noida? You don't even know it. My company used to see exodus of people because they wanted to get married, and their family used to say, "Beta, kahin aisi jagah job le lo jahan se pata chale kahan naukri karte ho." That is this country's fate was in 2008. And today, when you go to the colleges, you have a rofer of talent. That's the beauty of this opportunity. You have a rofer of the talent. You have a rofer of the talent coming from West. We are now snooties who'd say, I don't want to recruit from US, they just don't get adjusted here. Okay, I'll open a development center in the West in Toronto so that those Goras work for this country. Reverse brain drain of getting Goras to work for this country is the life. This is not a life that we need to recruit them and bring them in this country. This is not a life that we did IT services, which is incredible business that we built for their countries. Now time for them to give it back to our country and build the software for our country. That is what the time it is. This is what this country is. I just can't believe what is happening in my life, guys. I just can't believe what is happening in my life. I want to tell you honestly, some of those things that I was in the context of. Way back 2003 and 4, this is the time when, by the way, I raised my Series A in 2007, and I started my company in 2001. I'm such an overnight success, as you know of it by now. 2001 to 2007, I was running this company on one of the old popular money called customers' money. And some of my customers are so huge, and an engineering college graduate who never knew that you're not profitable. You should be cash flow positive, dude. Profitability is stupidity. In a P&L book, you don't have cash after profit is the situation that you are really in. So people like me who will go to a dost and say that, यार पैसे दे दो, देखो वो bill तो outstanding है, Airtel के पास है, बड़ा आदमी है, you know, पैसे तो दे देगा. और जब तक पैसे आएंगे, तब तक slowly, steadily, I raised a loan of 8 lakh rupees in my company. And that loan of 8 lakh rupees was no collateral loan. Slowly I had to pay it. I was paying 24% rate of interest. I used to not even have money to have 2 cups of tea in this winter. I mean, I want to tell you this, from a journey where I wouldn't have money to have 2 cups of tea in the winter to fast forward in a room. Jack Ma is sitting in front of you and you are doing a light and sound show. You don't raise money by giving business presentations. You do it by light and sound show. Action, passion, emotion, drama. Nobody cares the business, actually. I don't have to tell you all. Nobody cares the business that you are in. They see you, see through you, see your team, see you who you are, see what you would talk. That's a dream selling, which Shah Rukh Khan does in Switzerland. One of the sponsors who would not get quoted. Or that conversation which I had with Jack. Single story. I mean, I just want to tell you this thing. In the world, underdogism is such an underrated and understated feeling. Jack Ma was an underdog. Masa was an underdog. When you have very clear label on you that you won't be successful, that is a perfect time to be successful or an opportunity to be. When you are that underdog that you've been suppressed so much that when you get a chance, you'll fly high and fly in the stars and moon, that is what the life is. I was sitting in that room with Jack Ma, and then fast forward a few more months, I was sitting in the room with Masa-san. And yes, that happened to me. There was a phone call. Vijay, one of my board members, who's Goldman chairman, ex-chairman, I was talking to dash, and Berkshire Hathaway wanted to meet you. I was like, Berkshire Hathaway want to meet me? Pause. 2011. I have a board meeting where I make money. And I want to build a consumer business because this country has smartphone, internet, everything happening. Flipkart, Snapdeal, everything, Fashion and You know, all those companies that Rajan talked about, 2011 is happening. And I'm telling my board that I'm making money, but this is not the words that we truly are capturing at this country's opportunity. We should go to business to consumer business, which is where we should build a payment business. And the question the board is saying is, Vijay, you have a problem understanding. This country loves cash. This country loves people transacting in cash. Even if they have a choice, they don't. And you're expecting people to use mobile phones to do the payments? Are you nuts? And I said, look, God gives an opportunity, and I totally believe this will be ours. And there is no other better statement to say that I totally believe this will be, either will be a really big or it'll be a fail, but I have to take an opportunity. My board did not give me 5 crores when my bank had $35 million of free cash kept while I raised only 25 million. In other words, I was free cash generating company and not getting $1 million. While I was actually investing in third parties, meaning I would invest in some company and they will give me money. So I had a discussion literally at a level, here is my 1% equity available to each of you if I throw and not make sense of this $1 million that you give me. Opportunity came in the room. They said, Vijay, you should understand you're trying to build a consumer business. You will need to build a brand I don't see even an MBA in your team. And I was like, I'll take it to my heart. One day you'll know the brand people will wear on their chest. Vijay, even if you know how to build a brand, you do not know how to spend money. You are the miser kind, you are the free cash kinds, you are the profitability kinds, you are the one who prefers money in the bank over getting this away. And I said, is that a problem? Well, consumer businesses, you have to learn to raise money. You have to learn to raise money from people who can give you money at people who can give you $1 billion. One day, if you wish to need to take $100 million is not what you can raise. I said, one day you will remember who all I raised money from, and fast forward, I'm going in Omaha for raising the money. That is the day I was saying. And that is the life, my friend, underdog can get. As they say, when God wants something to be done, he will plan a better plan than you would plan a plan. And that is when I'm sitting in the room with Todd Com, who's a Berkshire guy. You get money. Well, sequence of things. Obviously, like I told you, light and sound show. And now I was more used to of things. But, end of the day, I'm sure I don't have to tell you because you guys are the one who give money. Some of the people who are probably trying to raise money, they don't give you money because you have a great business. They give you money because you have a great team and you're an incredible guy. They never give you the money to the business, okay? Each one of you who think that business plan matters, as much that business plan, how will you deliver? As a words, as a execution. Not like the business plan matters. Well, I needed to build, like Rajan said, I live a life of least amount of strings on me, literally. There is no, this is a lens cart free chashma with, if you pay the glasses, that kind of chashma, 800 rupees. This is the shoe. This is the total lowest cost. And you know why? I continue to live in the fear that if everything disappears, will I have a life which I'll be able to live through a salary that I may get? And that is the life that I live. And at the same point of time, I dream of building a company that the world will look at me as a capitalist. I may be socialist or I may be altruistic in my approach to life, but the capitalist benchmark will be. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, when people say, how can you be so dash, whatever, good or bad, ugly? I say that I'll be that bastard who would have success in his brain on the day when I will get one. Today is not the day. Today I'm the timid guy in front of that huge milestone hopefully my life gives a chance to build. Today is a guy who's in front of an ambition that life gives an opportunity to create a chance with the team that I have. Today is a guy when you land in San Francisco, then you can proudly say, Paytm, that's an India company, did you know that? When you land in Tokyo, you can say, Paytm, did you know this is an India company? And when you land in Toronto, then you can say, this is Paytm, this is an India company. Ladies and gentlemen, time has come up for us all to take a call that are we writing a storybook or a history book of our life? This is the time this country gives an opportunity to do that. I don't like monologues. I'm sure you know this by now. This is a significant monologue, so I will prefer questions, and I had planted Rajan to put some questions in this audience. He decided to say, no, people will like. This is 12 minutes are pending. This is decreasing, so 12 minutes here, so people to ask questions. Or Rajan to ask questions if he wants to be here and ask those tricky questions. Rajan can't ask tricky questions. He's so suave corporate guy that he just can't ask tricky questions. The very reason Rajan is called is not tricky question. I'm Rajan. That is what the Rajan is. But I wanted to tell you one thing. Given a choice, I would give a better Hindi speech. Because I come from a city called Aligarh. I studied till class 12th in Hindi medium. I was 14-year-old when I completed my class 12, 1-4. This effectively means I was in class 10th when I was 12-year-old, by the way. I skipped classes. I'm one of those who race towards early grave. Run, rabbit, run, forget the sun. When at last work is done, don't sit down, it's time to take another one. That is who I am. And I want to tell you, I lived a life in 15 years of my age I was reading 2 books together. 2 books together to compare between Hindi and English. Samantar Pat Sandharit Parallel Plate Capacitor, Sahiti Guna Veg, some Veg is called momentum. I'm that guy. I can speak perfect Hindi than the English I speak. A lot of people say, you speak so fluent English. I can pretend. Rock stars taught me. Jim Morrison taught me. Bono taught me. I can tell you that my life motto is, no eternal awards will forgive us now for wasting the dawn. I'm sure, American prayer. You know it. Well, that is, I wanted to tell you this Indian entrepreneur is. Indian entrepreneur can come from a city where you don't even speak the language in a context. I come from a city where my mother was telling me back in the day when I started my company and instead of job I wanted to go there. She said, मेरे पड़ोस में बोलते हैं लल्ले की नौकरी नहीं लग रही होगी इसीलिए वो बिजनेस डाल रहा है. जरूर कुछ हुआ होगा स्कूल में उसके में कॉलेज में. मम्मी आपको ये दूसरे लोग कैसे बता सकते हैं कि मेरी लाइफ में क्या हो रहा है? You know, what I'm trying to tell you is that this is the culture that we come from. This is the culture of no we come from. We are victimized or normalized to Britishers. Whenever we wanted to raise our heads, we were told, bow down. Whenever we wanted to go to the world, we were said that you're better here. Whenever we wanted to do something, we were told that you're not meant to. Whenever we wanted to dream, we were told this is not for you. This is a time that has changed. This is a time this country's new generation is changing. This is a time that people in this country, this room, you are changing. You all in this room have been the hope of this country, even if you came as visitors, but you got that hope in this country. Thank you, Ty, for coming in this city and country all the time. Thank you so much. You are the guys who made this country believe that Indians will not be just Indians sitting in this country as a victim of third world country. You are the guys who built us proud companies out there, taught us there, brought back the money which this country never had. You came as a tourist, but you came with a bag full of money to give to the young entrepreneurs. Sanjeev, Deep Kalra, in this room, these are the stalwarts who inspired every generation of the company next forward. The amount of work that you've given back is understated in the speeches that you get to hear because you are the real heroes that we could think and dream ever when we were kids and seeing you guys. You are the poster heroes for this country. That is what we are.
So,
yes, ma'am.
I have got, actually, I was, it's so funny you're saying this just now. I was in a fundraising meeting in the valley actually at Ram Shri Ram's house.
It must be a few hundred or few $10 million. I get the normalization.
No, it was for a company where there was a British guy who showed up and he was heading an Indian company, and he started talking about how he wants to make this change in India, he wants to make that change in India, and I lost it. And I'm so embarrassed because I lost it. I snapped in front of those 50 VIPs in Ram's house, actually. And I said, so he said, I'm grooming all my staff members for Marks and Spencer. I said, you mean East India Company? And the whole room was actually very
I know,
upset.
it's so bad to get reference of East India Company and British reference in this room, but that is exactly what we've been. I had a call with Mark Zuckerberg on the time when there was a free internet discussion was going on. And I said, Mark, as an internet entrepreneur, you understand that if a telco changes the reins, it'll be bad for you in another country where it happens. I'm sure a lot of times you'll be on the positive side, but there will be times and places where you could not be on the positive side. I mean, it could be victimized. And I'm just an entrepreneur who's saying, you would put me on this train. By the way, that was the offer on the table all the time. But what happens to the companies that this country is going to build? We can't split the internet in one. You know what he said? Vijay, who will bring internet to this country? And I said, you can underestimate us, Mark. This country is not third world in internet age. This country is the first world internet age. You will learn from us. We will not give it to us. I can tell you this.
Absolutely.
You are not supposed to give us free name internet. We will have the internet. Wait few years and you will know what this country is.
Vijay, also, I want to make sure that when when we say that, Google, I mean, look, whose brainchild is Google? It's not just Larry and Sergey. It is Rajiv Motwani's brainchild.
Well, I think I want to tell you one thing. No global company, no global company can say this ever with the sincerity on their side that it was not Indians who built it, run it, or operated it. That is the beauty about India. So here is to cheer to Satya Nadella for making the world's largest tech company. They just overtook Apple. Apple is my dearest heart company, but here is to Satya Nadella. Let's cheer it for him for making the Indians proud in the world that we can make the company which is the largest.
So, Vijay, when Asha said that Google was Rajiv Motwani's idea, she's in a good position to say so. For many of you who don't know, Asha is Rajiv Motwani's wife.
Oh. Ma'am, I want to tell you this. I raise my company's money and I say, me and my friend, we started search in 1998 in this country. And you know what do I say? I say, Larry and Sergey could match Rajiv Motwani and we couldn't get our Rajiv. That is the statement I make. And I mean, I can't believe that I'm seeing you, ma'am.
But
I mean,
Rajiv,
this is called cosmic connection happening in this room right now.
but Rajiv is Indian. He's from Delhi. He's Indian.
I want to tell you, this is the beauty. Ram, Shriram, Rajiv, every one of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me here. I give back 5 minutes to you. If you have a question, then I ask you that. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic presentation. It was coming from the heart. I could see that. Thank you. Thank you. Now, a lot of these companies that we're talking about, the industry is talking about, are tech companies, product companies,
Yeah.
right? And anything that's going out to the world is product. Now, here's a challenge. I'm a services guy with that kind of dream. I'm a trainer, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in the training business. Now, how does one take a pure services business to the scale that this guy was just talking about here from his heart?
Okay, I'll tell you, this is, by the way, each one of these people who are rich with tens of million or hundreds of $1 million and a couple of them with billions of dollars always have these two boats. One boat was, I'll make money from services and I'll do the product. Product was their dream and services was their bread and butter. These two boats don't go together. One day they split the road. And on that day, either they took the ride of letting his services or some of them took the plunge and called it a product. Answer is, you have to choose one or other. You
I'm
can't
already
choose
in
the
one.
classic or two.
I'm a services guy.
And once you close every exit door of what you have committed to, I can tell you, my friend, you will go through all the rides, all the low and low, and you will not know what low could be low. And the sincerity of you all will be the benchmark of the bounce back that you will create. I don't have to teach this in this room. Everyone who's been successful always close every exit door, and there was only one success that was defined on the day when we started, and that is what the true north is. That is what the true north is. So on the day when you give up your services business, you will be in the product business straightforward. That's my ask.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi. So,
Hi Vijay, my name is Shabazz. I would be delighted if you can share with us your 3 biggest learnings from your journey so far. And one more question, raise capital when you don't need it. If you can shed some light on that, it will be great.
rule number 1, and by the way, I mean, does not matter in the startup, technology, work, or entrepreneurial life. Sincerity is the biggest top of the pop skill, quality, intent that you must have. If you're not sincere, nobody will put money. If you're not sincere, your team won't work with you. If you're not sincere and committed, you won't have it. So sincerity is such an underrated virtue and needed for humankind. So on the top, I'll put sincerity. In fact, for the bank that we built, there was a question of India's largest bank, this, that. I don't want to give you the numbers on the stage. I just want to tell you, by the way, one 37-year-old bank called State Bank of India and demonetization happened. Every bank became digital savvy and so on. And they were the largest digital bank in this country by the sheer size, the number of people. Paytm Bank in 10 months of launch had a market share which was 50% higher than State Bank of India in this country. By the way. So this is called sincerity to the purpose, okay? The tagline that we put was India's most sincere bank. So sincerity. And second, Rajan said it, the word, perseverance. Perseverance is what I'm saying when the door is open, that you shut the door and say that perseverance, sincere, committed perseverance. And third actually is, like I always said a few minutes back, you and your team. That's it, nothing else. And raising money when you don't need money is the reason. Basically, when you don't need money, people think that I should be part of your journey. And they want to be because they get time to learn, time to see you, and a lot happens. And when you need money, they have a shorter time to take a decision, and sometimes in a hurry, worry, and then desperation gives them a chance that what if it doesn't go all. So yes, it is always advisable to raise money when you don't need money, but this is not real. I mean, we are entrepreneurs, we need money, that is why we go to raise money end of the day. So yes, I'm raising money right now so that you know this, why I don't need money.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Hi, how are you here? Yeah, वहाँ पे भी ऐसे लोग हैं जो मेन स्ट्रीम इकोनॉमी से दूर हैं.
So next time, bring a billion people to mainstream economy.
पहले वसुधैव कुटुंबकम. पहले अपने घर में भला करें फिर सबका भला करें. That, I mean, obviously, yes.
So, people do not know this, but Indian capital markets is one of the best in the world. People don't understand
Only a
that.
few people can rig it.
Yes.
Okay, joke finished.
No, it's not a question of ringing it, it's a question of transparency.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, if I heard Rajan correctly, you want to build a financial services empire in India. What are your plans? Don't give any secrets. What are your plans? What do you intend doing?
Open secret, 500 million Indians. We, by the way, I mean, it's not a pitch I want to give. Company is not what I want to talk about, but the short summary is that this country has served 200 to 300 million people.
Yep.
And my wish is that when an auto rickshaw guy earns 67 rupees out of a ride, then he can commit 50 rupees of that to a wealth management that can give him pension long term. And then, if because he has a saving, he can get the credit for an upgrade of auto rickshaw to a car or a Ola or a Uber when he wants it. So, financial services for the masses of this country who has not been touched. अस्पृश्य लोगों के लिए financial services.
So you're going to do inclusivity, right?
Inclusive.
So asset tokenization, so we should talk.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I think, sorry everyone, I think we're out of time. So thank you Vijay, as always, for being incredibly inspiring. I think from Thai Global, let's give a big round of applause.
I made an offer, Rajan.
And,
I made an offer.
I know, but we'll talk about that later, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thanks everyone, give him a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come, let's see.